That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It is time for Life's a Drag with your favorite people, Jason Galvin and myself. What up, Jason Galvin?
What up, J-Lo? What's going on, buddy?
Listen, everybody and their brother has a podcast going on. I believe WFO Joe Costello is finishing up his podcast today.
I know, right?
He was with Clay Milliken and
WFO Joe tried to cut into like our time slot there. Did you see that?
I saw that.
Normally we go at 5:30 Eastern. There's Joe Costello. Like, oh, I got important people like Clay Milliken and Tim Wilkerson.
Yeah, right. I mean, come on, dude. I understand they won races this past weekend, but bro,
did they win last weekend?
I think so. I was there, I think.
They did, man. That was a good weekend.
If
good
I was
weekend.
paying attention. You know what? Listen.
If I was paying attention, man, that's a low bar, isn't it? It was Jason. J-Lo.
What?
Yes.
Sometimes I can't hear. So, I'm sitting right there on the starting line.
Oh, okay. All right.
And,
is that what it is?
And I've got like 9,000 speakers pointed at me. But when you got, 11,000 horsepower in each lane, it's like kind of hard to hear over,
Is that how that works?
Yeah, man.
How that works?
Yep. So, I mean, dude, listen, it was a great weekend. You got to carry the ball, which you did a fantastic job. Proud of you.
Oh, thank you. I'm trying to find a ball. Man, I did a crappy job there being ready for that toss. Huh? I was like, I have a ball. I don't. My office is full of sports shit. The one thing I don't have nearby is a ball.
Right. It's all right. But you carried the weight of the world on your shoulders, and we did good. Joe Costello was on the starting line, commentating, not just doing his whole TV thing. There you go.
Carrying the ball.
But and Hannah was down there. We all had a great time. It was the welcome back to the Too Fast Too Tasty.
Welcome back.
We had Pro Stock Bike, we had Fuel Car, and we had Top Fuel.
Dude, we had like almost everything. We had Mountain Motor, we had Pro Mod.
Yeah, but we're gonna stick with the Too Fast Too Tasty because Jason, in the never ending saga, that is the national anthem at our events.
You're gonna do it.
Saturday, we're going right in on this. We are going right in. And listen, I've gotten mixed emotions. People are like, "Oh, what's going on?" Even our guest is like, "Wow, you're gonna do that right now?" I'm like, "Of course we're gonna do that right now." So, if you were not at the track on Saturday, if you do not watch NHRA.tv, this is what Jason and I were privileged to watch at the start of the Too Fast Too Tasty. Now, we'll leave it up to you in the comments. You can either say it was great, we should put it in the win column, or we should put it in the no way, no how column, okay? Now, as I tell you this, Jason and I watched this about 20 times in our
once or twice.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, stand up if you and remove your hats. It's time for the national anthem. Oh, hold on. Let me start. Okay, here we go.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the peril and spite from the ramparts we watch, where so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave, and for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Let's play ball. All right. By the way, my mom just joined the show. Look at this. Hold on, let's get this off of here.
Figured. I can't believe you showed it.
I am going to sign up and sing one week. Somebody cannot hold her baby. Come on now. That's true, Mom. I halfway through. All right, so let's talk about this for 1 second. Yeah,
okay.
Scott, thank you, America. So again, I own a talent agency. This is what we do. We put people up there to do it.
This is you're doing?
No, I didn't pick this.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know the way you presented that. This is what we do.
Yeah. So I as soon as I mean 4 words came out of that woman's mouth, and I was like, I got right on the radio. And what did I say, Jason?
Oh yes.
Oh my God!
I'm in a tower, right? Like Reiner wasn't there last weekend, so I'm in the tower getting ready. Like, here we go. Like this was All-Star Call Out, right? It wasn't even Mission.
Oh, that's right. It was All-Star Call Out.
All-Star Call Out. But like, all right, and here we go. The first ever. Like, I'm trying to get ready for it. How are we going to set this up? First pair out. It was like all this drama. It was a rematch from Phoenix and timing issues, ironically. The driver's fault. And here's Jason Logan. Oh, yes. I look over and our boss is just like, oh, no.
Because he knows. He knew this was going to be.
Because he knew you would not let it go no matter what. You are the king. Jason Logan is the king of not letting go when
when I'm right. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, let's be honest. That was just
the worst part of it to me is like the part where like she clearly knows this is not going well.
Right.
And she looks down at her baby like
By the way, I didn't know she had a baby until halfway through the song.
When she looked down, like that was when she acknowledged the baby in the carrier, I was like, oh, this got worse. Like,
oh my God, Jason Galvin. This is like, and I totally forgot we were doing an anthem for the call out. I was like, oh, right. Okay. And then when she got it, I was like, oh my God, really? Now Sunday, the anthem.
Sunday was killer. Oh yeah, great. Sunday was second best anthem of the season. Sunday.
Yes,
Charlotte.
Yes, she came from a singing school, if you will. Okay. Yeah, she had a thing going on there. But man, what a way
I was checked out for that whole part of pre-race. I'm going to tell you right now, like, here's my first hit public middle, right? I've had a lot of people, and I appreciate those of you maybe watching who reached out, complimented the job we did last weekend. I appreciate it. I know we all appreciate it as a team. Happy to have Alan back in Epping, but like, like I walked up from pre-race because I did intros like I normally do, and then walked into the booth to set up the safety safari parade. And I'm going to tell you, from the second that I set up the Fox Open after that until the end of round 1 of eliminations, I'm blank.
Yeah.
I went into like, do not screw this up mode. like do not be that guy who ends up on the internet. Like, oh, what happened the one time that Alan missed a race and this bastard. Like, I'm in blank. Like, to the point where I went back and watched round 1 yesterday so that I could remember, like,
oh, listen,
what happened? Oh, that's right. Steve Torrence smoked the tires at the hit. Like, literally zero. I forgot Mike Salinas crossed the center line until I watched it again. I mean, I've blanked for round 1 of them. The rest of the day from that point on, I was pretty good. But like from let's take a look at the Fox Open to
firing the first pair
to there's the end of round 1 of Pro Stock Motorcycle. Really, I've got like nothing. It's no mental memory.
Well, like, it's different because you got I mean, okay, you knew about it for a little bit, but you don't understand. I mean, you're good at what you do, but now you gotta, this is the big day, this is race day, you gotta kind of go in and do your thing. But like, when you, like, I used to do driver intros, and then you do them a million times better than I do, but when I have to play music and say, Steve Torrence, your number 8, 9 qualifier, it's like, it's not difficult, but it requires another level of thinking on your part, and it's great. Courtney, Courtney, listen, you got to get on time.
Man, this is classic Courtney Enders moment here. 10 minutes late.
You'll have to go back and watch the beginning of the show, Courtney.
Yeah, too bad.
But overall, it was a good time. We
Great time.
we had national anthem singers. We also had this happening right in my stage, and we had an extra stage set up so we can do this.
Got what I got. The hard work. I'll make you better.
What?
Each and every day. So honey, don't you fret, 'cause you ain't seen nothing yet. I'm a soul man. Where time from there.
Those guys
Those
were
guys
fun.
were fun. They were fun. They were fun.
Courtney not happy. Classic Courtney enters moment. Shut it, Calvin. So, but yeah, we had all kinds of entertainment. It was good to be back in Joliet. It's just that track is. Listen, I don't know if you saw these people talking on social media about how they don't like the Chicago track. I don't understand how you.
The people who were there, they couldn't have been people who were there.
No,
right?
they're like, I will never go back there because you can't see anything. I'm like, how can you not see anything? And they were talking about how the NHRA was dead. Fans aren't going. Jason Galvin, they said fans were not going. This is what I saw on Saturday. I saw that.
Did you upload the pictures I texted you?
Yeah, there's Jason.
This is out of the announce booth. Q2 on Saturday. So the first qualifier, which is normally the one people are like late to the party for, right? This is 1:00 Saturday, heat of the day, like second hottest day of the year in Illinois so far. Packed. And I don't want to hear from the people, because I heard this a couple times. You didn't open the other grandstands. Like, first off, let me just explain something to you here. Okay. We opened 4 sections down there that on Saturday specifically look like that too. Yeah. And do you know what we were not supposed to do? Open that side of the grandstands. You know when we decided to open that? I kid you not. Thursday night, I was doing a customer race for Pete and Gerber. Right out rental cars. Cool deal to do, right? Sponsor race. Bring out rental cars. They all get to race each other. Thursday night, doing that. And Brad Gerber, unrelated, who is our VP of sales and marketing, or I messed the title up, I'm sorry, right? Jeffrey Young, communications, right? Like important decision-making people with the NHRA were out there like, we got to move the Jumbotrons. We got to open grandstands over there. And we got to open them all weekend. Like because Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Because they were out of tickets to sell for the weekend. So
and people still wanted to show up and they wanted to buy tickets.
And guess what? We packed all of those on Saturday. Like, I don't know what the hell else we're supposed to do. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't
social media fans are social media fans. They are what they are, right?
It totally makes me laugh.
The drag racing is dead tour continues. I can't wait till we get to Epping and there's no seats in the stands on Saturday and somebody finds a way to bitch about something. So.
Oh, and there's that place fills up where they sit up on top. There's a hill out
there. I've never
there.
been. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, there's a hill out by the finish line that they just pile in there. Oh, the parking's unbelievable. It's crazy. Epping's is one of those tracks. If you don't get there early, you might as well just park your car on the side of the road and walk.
And Minnesota's checking in, and when we get to Brainerd, it'll look like that too. Dude, we're in a good place. Sport is in a good place right now.
I agree.
Makes me excited.
I'm
excited.
Yes, we have tracks that are shutting down, but the ones we have are filling up. And you know what? It makes it more special when we show up.
Hey, can I say them real quick? Because you said that, and part of that comment I know comes from a story that came out this week about Topeka. Right. And it started in the Topeka Courier Journal, whatever the local paper there is. Bobby Bennett, Competition Plus, picked it up. People need to read entire articles instead of just headlines. Okay. Like and this is a general look, we could be here for 6 hours while I go on a social media rant. Okay. Like, but this is a general problem with social media and planet Earth's sudden in the last decade or so inability to utilize reading comprehension, which I thought we taught in schools, but apparently we don't anymore.
No.
And, a headline is a headline for a reason. You have to then click and then read. We call it the body of the story. And then you might actually understand what's going on. So if you did that and you got to the bottom of the article, you would know that if Topeka goes away, and it didn't say it would, there is a legal process playing out that has to play out. But if Topeka goes away, the gentleman who owns Topeka owns a big-ass piece of property on the east side of Kansas City where there's a bitchin' dirt track called I-70, and he just sold property to other investors where there is already a drag strip built. And do you know what those investors want to do if Topeka goes away? Build the rest of the drag strip up so we can move the national event there.
Right.
Everybody take a breath. Like, this is why you got to read the story. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, I'd hate to lose Topeka. But on like the flip side of it, if you're talking about building a brand new facility,
Yeah.
I like new facilities too. Call me crazy. I've been to a few of them. They're really nice, you know.
But but like you said, just build it up. They're going to build the stands. They're going to make them bigger, so we can put more people in there. That's all.
Put a tower in and like a real one and like all the stuff. And like, can you imagine rolling in like it's 20 minutes outside of downtown Kansas City? So like again, there's a lot of things that need to play out.
Yes.
And I didn't go look at. By the way, we gave Joe some crap earlier, but I haven't gone and looked. I know part of why Joe's show was so late today was the Palm Beach meeting this morning. I didn't go. I've been busy with real life stuff.
They lost 7-0. They voted for the industrial park.
Wild.
Yeah, Joe looked pretty beat up about it.
I believe it. That's insane. Well, Joe and Madeline and that whole team down there put a lot of effort into that. So
yeah,
that's what it is.
But that's what it is.
Move on.
Now we're moving on to all the fun things we ate this weekend.
Oh, yes.
Jason
I got in
Galvin.
early, so you missed out on this.
I missed out on this. Jason Galvin went to this place that I've only seen on TV, and the Chicago Pizza and Oven Grinder Company. I've only seen it on TV.
At the recommendation of who?
Buddy Hall. Yep.
Look at this thing.
Look at what it does. What?
Oh.
Now, what's inside there? Because I've seen on TV they'll put like mushrooms and stuff in there. What did you get in there?
I got mine with no. That's one thing they give you the option on. Like, you have no options really. Like, the options are very limited, right? You want they call them pizza pot pies, and like you either get white dough or wheat dough. That's the white dough, and you either get vegetarian or meat, and that's meat, and you either get mushrooms or no mushrooms, and that is it. Like, you don't. So I don't know. It's their hodgepodge. I mean, honestly, you know what it was? It was like a bolognese almost. Like, it was like a chunky, delicious meat sauce inside of a pizza dough covered in cheese. And like, what it had a bowl when it came out. I didn't take a picture when it came out. But it had a bowl. Take the picture down so I can show.
Please hold.
It literally came out like a pot pie, right? So like, my hand is the bowl, and it came out like this with the dough over the top, cooking over it. And then they just put a plate out and turned it over, and out oozed all of that. And the cheese was already in it. Like, I don't know how they did that with the cheese at the bottom of the bowl, and it didn't burn the cheese. Like, I don't know. I got nothing on that one, but it was phenomenal.
It looks absolutely
I ate
amazing.
Half of it, and
Yeah, I
literally I gave it to my buddy who's a Chicago firefighter and can afford the calories that I cannot. I was stuffed after like half of it. And I didn't even take a picture of the appetizer bread deal they had. It was great. Highly recommend. It's on the north side, I guess that is ish. West side, I don't know. It's up.
It's
from the Navy Pier, like 3 blocks right there, right across the street. But it was right across the street from where the St. Valentine's Day massacre happened, which was kind of cool. And it's also led to a ridiculous wormhole on my phone where I have like 97 Wikipedia pages open reading about Midwest mafia, like outside of Chicago, which we won't even get into right now.
Yeah.
Anyways, continue.
So you had that, and then
Yes,
Jason shows us this one. What is that you're eating?
Kuma's. I told you about this last week. Like, I wanted to go to Kuma's Corner, like world famous burgers. This is on like the east side or west. I don't know. It's on the outside of downtown Chicago. I guess there's only one outside, right? There's a north, a south, and an outside, and then a water.
Right.
So it's on the outside. And anyways, that's the Metallica burger. Like, cool place, hardcore, like heavy metal playing. All the burgers are like named after famous bands. That's the Metallica burger. It was awesome. Had homemade hot sauce, blue cheese on it. Those are fried onions. Again, I ate maybe half of it, and literally, I realize I'm a big guy, but I'm trying to remedy that. And it turns out that part of that is you eat less, and then when you eat less, you can't eat more. And and now I'm disappointed by that because I went to all these great places and couldn't finish my meals. But
it's okay. You just want to taste it. You just need a taste of it.
They were awesome.
Then another cool thing at the track. Was it Saturday that this happened?
Is this the Ziz?
The Ziz. TJ
the
Zizzo was
Ziz.
there.
Jason
TJ
Galvin
Zizzo.
picture right here.
TJ Zizzo made it to the semifinals, which means he's eligible for the Too Fast, Too Tasty.
Does. I don't know if he's going to find a way to get to Epping, but
Did you notice when I sent that text? I'm like, what happens if
that
he
was
doesn't?
very good. Jason Logan
at
was
me.
all over that. Sent a group
What?
text out that got both the broadcast crew on Fox and the announce crew to go, what happens when somebody doesn't come? In
That's
which
your
we
point.
learned that the quickest loser of round 2, I believe, was what the rule was, right?
Right.
The fastest or quickest ET that did not win in round 2, which I have not gone back to look. But while you show everybody TJ Zizzo, I'm going to go look because I'm curious. Go ahead.
This is what TJ Zizzo did. He made pancakes. He had a little pancake breakfast going on.
That is a happy dude.
Dude, he's awesome. The racing,
Literally
you know,
one of my favorite people.
He is so great. And racing is so much better when we have all these awesome personalities that are out there and they're happy to be there and just so excited to be at a racetrack. TJ Zizzo is so happy to be there. He's making pancakes for everybody. It's unbelievable. I did not go.
You want to laugh at something?
Courtney Enders. Oh my God, that looks phenomenal. I'm eating grilled chicken right now.
Yeah, that was to the pizza.
Yeah, that's the pizza.
Yeah, you want to laugh at something? Do you know who the quickest loser of round 2 was?
Somebody who's not going to show up.
Jacob McNeil. Jacob McNeil, who I have no idea if he's planning on running Scott Palmer's car in Epping. Scott Palmer went to the final there a couple years ago. So
our guest says Jacob McNeil, then Leah. Leah is the next in line.
And that is right. That is correct. It would go to Leah after Jacob McNeil. So
good job, man. This guy's awesome.
He's on.
But dude, again, I'm over here. And I'm like, why wouldn't TJ Zizzo go? But TJ Zizzo hasn't been in all these races. So as he ran, that's what I mean. As he ran, I'm going, okay, he could win like 15 grand or whatever the number is. And does he make the trip all the way to Epping? Who knows? But we'll figure that out coming up.
I'm going to do my research on that while you talk about whatever else you want to talk about before we bring our guest in.
Yep. And then also at the end of every race day, we have our winner's circle. And again, because Jason was filling in for Alan Reinhardt, he got to go up there. And we like to seed the crowd, if you will. We like to invite people down, and people don't show up unless you give them something. So we usually have T-shirts or something to give away. We've been giving away Toyota Gazoo Racing T-shirts all season long. And our new person to throw out T-shirts is T-shirt Kevin. Look at him.
Kevin crushed it. Marketing Kevin. He is a man of the people.
Yeah, he really is. He's an unsung hero in the marketing department. This guy works his little tail off. So we're happy.
A man of the people right there.
He was giving them what they want, Jason.
Free stuff.
He was shaking his money maker. You know what I'm talking about?
Right. Currently on the top fuel entry list for Epping, no TJ Zizzo, no Scott Palmer car with either Scott or Jacob driving. However, a lot of time for that to change. Obviously, entries are open for 5 more days. But just saying, currently not there. So that would put Leah in. In theory.
Well, that's always fun about that stuff.
Right.
So, all right, we ready to bring in our guest? Because he's been sitting back there for 23 minutes. He's like, dude, get me in here. I'm ready to do what I got to do.
Dude, we had a lot to talk about in Chicago.
We did, and it was fun. And I won't even go into my traveling back home because that's just a whole nother level of just grossness.
Well, I haven't even heard that.
No, it's really not horribly bad, but it's just like, come on, really? I can't. Traveling's gotten to be terrible now.
It's not been good. Not been good this year.
But ladies and gentlemen, let's bring him in. You know what? I don't even know what his title is. And
he is the official grand poobah of keeping Jason Galvin in the tower.
That or timing system specialist.
Yes, that or timing system. Yes,
that's it.
Or he oversees the timing system.
He's right there,
and
he knows how to work the private chat. Let's give it up for Austin Hayward. Austin, what up?
Hey, what's up, guys? You know, it's episode 7, but I'm already feel really far down. Like you had Buddy Hall last week. It's like, oh, I'm already non-existent.
No, we just needed. We had to wait for some time for you to be relevant, and now you're relevant.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't know. That's
Is that a transistor radio in the background behind you?
That is actually an old Cron Deck timer, what they used to time drag racing before computers existed.
Wow, look at that.
Like
Look at
this right
guy.
here. Oh, over here. This over
Uh-oh.
here is
No,
like the
we lost
scoreboard.
Austin.
I got him.
He,
I can
he
see
did. He did too much. There he is. Go for it.
So what's above my my name is way up there above my head is like the scoreboard, but there wasn't scoreboards. That's what the announcer had to read the ET off of.
Huh.
And speed wasn't actually calculated for you. You actually had to look at the ET and then look over at a chart and figure out what about speed that was.
Well,
Okay.
look at that.
That's way beyond me.
Thank
way.
God we were in the computer era.
Yeah, no kidding, no kidding. Austin's got a cool background because he is one of the younger members of our staff in an official capacity, but he has a very important job, obviously, making sure that our timing system's set up. But to get to that point in life, Austin, it's not like you just woke up one day and was like, "Gee, I like computers and drag racing. Let me see if the NHRA is hiring." Tell everybody about your family's background down there in the great state of Texas.
So actually 3 generations born and raised in San Diego, California. I moved to Texas after high school to go to machining school and wanted to go work on a race car team. That's a lot of knowledge that I spent money on and I'm not using. My grandfather was the electronics director for 30 years, retired in 99 for NHRA. So he basically had what I do now. And my dad and him did it together. My dad was been building racetracks since he was 14. Like had to go picked up from the airport to go help install timing systems. My dad was in Memphis for 3 years when they brought him in. They were like they had like the walls done and nothing else, and that was like 2.5 years into building it. So they brought in him and a bunch of other outside. Did you guys put me up on the screen?
You're good.
Oh, okay. It's like, oh, and we lost everybody.
What? You're the star, Austin. We
Yeah.
were putting you up to be the star.
I'm sitting here like, uh-oh, there's a bug. So anyway,
And back to Austin.
so it's kind of been my family business of drag race timing systems. 2 years ago, I went to Dallas. There was some drama there, and I ended up being there and helping the Motorplex and NHRA kind of take care of the timing for the weekend, and sat down and talked to Jeff Conley at the event if I'd be interested in going on tour and doing what I do now. And Houston was going away, so I was looking for a job anyways.
And so, what do you do now? Like you show up at the track way before any of us do, obviously, days ahead of time usually. And what do you do when you get to a racetrack to make sure that 300-mile-per-hour race cars can be accurately judged by 16 thousandths of a second?
I mean, in short, I plug stuff in and hope it works.
You do more than that, Austin. This is what you do. Austin
That's
is
true.
in charge-
That's true.
Austin
Look
is
at
in charge of those blocks that they call cones out there.
Yes.
And whenever one gets run over, you'll see Austin jump in a golf cart and go down there and fix them. And
So I'll replace what. So Trackside has cones, obviously, because I mean we're in the business of timing, right? Timing jokes. Ambria hates them. My fiance just absolutely hates when I make timing jokes. I made one in Chicago, and Mike Rice stopped and looked at me. He was like, "Is that a timing joke?" I said, "Yeah, it's kind of like that."
I'm just impressed that Mike Rice picked up on the fact that it was a timing joke.
Mike has known me like my whole life, so.
Right.
So Trackside has they have this little silver box that holds 3 of them. Well, when they get mowed down, normally by a funny car, in Indy it was motorcycles.
Harley
Dude,
motorcycles.
top
specifically.
fuel Harleys.
Yes.
Yeah, top fuel Harleys. Like 12 blocks and 5 pairs. It's just, I just sat there.
Might
and
have
what with the box
The-
open. Like, okay,
The never-ending night of block replacement for those who weren't watching.
Might have been
Oh
my
my God.
favorite moment or like night of watching on NHRA.tv because I leave early and Jason Galvin and Joe Costello were still. I was like, hey, are we going to go eat dinner? What's going on? We're still here. Top Fuel Harley won't stop running over cones. Austin's ready to kill people. And we were like, oh my God. And I started watching and every pair just kept mowing
every
cones
pair.
down. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
And-
for you.
yeah, you and Costello though were funny though with it. It was very funny.
so my buddy Michael Holcomb was up there racing. He was in All-Star for Division 4 and Super Comp.
Right.
And whatever event him or Clint Castello are at, there ends up being a cheering section about 1,000 foot. At Houston, they had an RV spot right at the 1,000 foot on the TV side. So like they were visibly seen by the camera. Anyway, so I'm down there and I'm replacing blocks and they're cheering every time I drive by. And it's just every time I drive by, they're cheering. And Michael saw the look on my face and he like one of the trips to the trailer, because I'll bring 2 with me and I'll replace the 2. But before I could even get back one time, they mowed him over again. So I just brought a box.
Yeah.
So he at one point he comes and he's like, hey, are we pissing you off? I said, I'm just not having fun anymore. Like, not you guys. I'm just not having fun. I'm ready to go. So at one
It's not
point-
you, it's me.
But when we were done with Top Fuel Harley, I have like the whole back of my cart, and we had different carts last year. We had carts that traveled with us. The whole back of my cart, which was like a tailgate and like a little box, is just full of just blocks that have been destroyed. From like can reuse them to just pieces. So I cruise up the fence line, and the fence had a mesh on it, so you couldn't see through it if you were standing at the fence. And they're all standing on golf carts up over the fence. As I roll up, I know where he's at based on where the camera stand is. As I roll up, I stand up and just overhand, just wham over the fence, and just throw it right at him. And I get back to the tower, and I guess somebody was watching me, and they said, "I hope you know that guy. That was overhand."
But this is Indy though too. By the time we get to Indy, everybody wants to kill everybody,
That's
and
a good
Indy is
point.
just so long. And when
That's a
that
good point.
happens, it's
And
like,
Indy
come on,
with
man.
all stars and weather,
Yes.
and just, I mean, every
Yeah.
day was like 5 a.m. to midnight,
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was a long
and it was
weekend.
just
That-
so long.
And we're
Okay.
just
And-
burnt out from the summer, and we're just like,
Right.
oh my God, if you even think about saying a word to me, sometimes we're gonna fight, and it's the best. It's so
Right.
great.
Right. So yeah, I replay. I take the blocks down when they get hit, and it's probably the most rewarding part of this whole thing is like you have this block, right? And it was in the middle of a racetrack with race cars going 330 miles an hour past it, and it just got hit. So it's trash. I'm not going to reuse it. Some of them I do, but some of them it's just easier to throw them over the fence. And when I'm on my way down to go cycle blocks out, I'm looking at the fence line for a small child that might make their day.
Right.
And so I bring that block back and I hand it over to him. And in Pomona, some of the older crowd was very upset that I was giving them to 5-year-olds and not them. And I was just like, are you kidding me? This guy's upset that I didn't give him this. Like, oh my God.
We
I do
live
have
it.
rules
We live
about
it.
though.
Yeah.
Right. I do have rules about it though. If there's 2 children and I only have 1 block, I don't stop. I just drive right on by because I know how me and my sister are, and we would have fought over that thing to oh holy hell.
Right.
So that's a very small part that's the most exciting part of race day normally is, they hit blocks. I got to go replace them. And,
Do you
sometimes,
do you autograph these before you hand them over? You should autograph them.
Yep.
No, but my first set of blocks ever hit was John Force at Pomona last year at the Winter Nationals. And I happened to be in front of him. I was in my golf cart with a piece of that block just wedged up in the console. And I realized he was behind me on the road coming in. So I just stopped and pulled this thing out and walked it over to him. Hey, man, this is my first set. Can you sign it? He didn't seem very happy. Probably because there was a big-ass hole in the front of
It
his
is
car.
fiberglass. Yeah. We're not
Hey,
happy with
John.
that one.
John, hey John, I know you just got disqualified and everything, but can you sign this for me?
So it was the next day.
That was
and
solid.
It was on the way in.
That was a solid move.
So I have it, and Ambria's like, "What are we gonna do with that?" I said, "I don't know. It doesn't mean anything to anybody but me,
Right.
you know." So that's you actually, if you're in the tower and they serpentine the block so they don't hit them, like Salinas did really good of not hitting them when he was on the center line looking at the 934. A lot of times you're like, woohoo! Like, I don't have to go replace them, and we're not spending the time to you got to clean them up. The reflectors in them explode.
Right.
I mean, you got to think it's like seat cushion. You know, during the track walk we say don't touch them, and people always like, well, they want to touch it because they want to see what it is. It's just like seat cushion foam. And then the reflectors, there's four
with two reflectors on each side, right? Like
right,
like bicycle reflectors.
Yeah, they're 3-inch plastic, lens, plastic backing.
Right.
But when they get hit at you ever been tubing? You fall off a tube at 60 miles an hour, the concrete or the water feels like concrete.
Right.
So again, you hit this thing at 300, everything explodes. The body, the reflectors, everything's gone. And you've seen it in the slow-mo where they hit a block and you see just stuff fly out the side of it. So that's when you have Matt come out and they got to make laps. So normally we have the blocks back down and the timing system's good long before we're ready to go back to racing because we're waiting for the mat to circle and pick up all the debris off the racetrack.
I see. Hey,
those are for people like don't understand. I realize most of our people like get it right, but like they're literally just lasers. Like this is the amazing thing to me that I've always marveled at with our timing system. Like it's actually not like the most complex high tech thing. Like when you think about what Bob Brockmeyer created with CompuLink, that he found a way to take something that in theory is incredibly like complex and also important and like very like really simplified it pretty dramatically.
It made it easy for people like us to be able to use it for sure.
Right.
But there's a lot of coding and everything that goes into it. I mean, you're talking about a timer that's timing things down to a 10,000th or better of a second. So it's like when people ask me, well, what's it like? Your garage door, you have the two sensors that keep you from being able to close it on your car or your child or something.
Yep.
It's kind of like that, except that you can't have something in the middle of the track. They used to have these big photo cells and 100-watt landing lights in the middle of the racetrack. That's why when you go to older tracks, there's actually conduit that goes to the center line because they used to have a big flood lamp out there that would shine into the wall, and that's what it was. All it really is a switch. All it is it's sitting there and it sees itself off the reflector, and when you put something in it, it doesn't see itself anymore, and it records that event once the tree is dropped. That's why sometimes, like trash at an event that's really windy, that's why we start making it, Jason, you've probably made the announcements, please guys, make sure you're getting your napkins and your trash in the trash can, because you'll notice all this trash is flying and it gets over the wall. And if it passes through that beam after the car has left the starting line, it's going to trigger an early stop at whatever incremental it is. And normally it's the finish line.
Right.
For whatever unlucky reason, it's normally the finish line.
Right.
So then you bring up a rerun or a DQ of the time. And I mean, Top Fuel, Funny Car, all these things are very expensive to run.
Right.
So when you have to throw out somebody's time, it's heartbreaking. They're upset. And, like depending on how late in the season it is, it could be worth a championship.
Sure.
Yeah.
Fortunately, that like very, very rarely, like I can think of limited instances where something like that has necessitated a rerun. But I mean, like that's you're right. That's an important thing. Like that's why you can't just like leave stuff flying around. I mean that's why we stop the race when there's debris like out there. Like I've literally had people like, I don't understand why we had to like stop and not run the next pair because there's something on the track, but it's way over by the wall. I mean, first off, besides
moving.
Right, like yeah, exactly. Like what if that thing that's way over by the wall, cost you your race, and that's.
Dude, I watched a video today of Austin. I don't know if you were there in Epping, where that umbrella kept flying all over the place, and this umbrella was just flying through the air, just like, oh, there's an umbrella that just finally landed. I mean, it had to be 200 feet up in the air, then finally landed on the track, and Safety Safari went out and got it. It was like, dude, that is a big umbrella. Something like, can you imagine a napkin screwing things up? I mean, this thing could have taken out the entire tree if it hadn't hit it.
A bug.
Yeah.
Spiders.
Yeah.
That's what, every morning I go down, I check every sensor, every hole that the sensor emits through. That's why you'll see me with a toilet brush. Like why does the guy on the racetrack have I'm going to get a plunger just for fun one time and just carry a plunger with me.
Of course.
He just carry it up on my shoulder and just start walking out like, what is going on?
What is the grossest thing you've ever pulled out of one of the timing holes at a racetrack?
I don't really know about gross because like spider webs are pretty much like the weirdest thing that you're like, I don't know what this is. So you just kind of run that thing, the toilet bowl brush through the hole. I had a cat in St. Louis.
Living or dead?
Living and very angry.
Okay.
So in St. Louis, like these bunkers that are around them, and they have lids, like 4x4 metal lids on hinges. So, and I have to clean all these things out. And as I lift this lid, there's a cat sitting on the box that all my wires run into. I'm like, oh. So I grabbed the toilet roll brush and I'm like, hey, you have to, I'm holding this lid up and I'm like, hey, you got to go. You know, you can't, you know, don't care that you want to live here, but you got to go. And this thing was mean, just clawing at me. So it finally jumps down, goes through the hole onto the racetrack, which luckily we weren't racing. This was Tuesday before the event. Runs up the wall and I'm watching it and it runs into another hole for another sensor. And I'm like,
I'm gonna have to deal with this guy again.
yeah.
I can't wait. We're gonna be in like St. Louis, and Austin's gonna reach his hand in, and it's gonna be like a bat.
Oh, no, I'm smarter than this. I don't stick my hand in. I have the toilet bowl brush.
Okay. You never.
My arm just does not start going into a hole that I don't know what's on the other side.
So it's not like when you go bobbing for catfish or whatever they call it.
Noodling.
No.
Is that what they call it? Noodling.
Noodling.
Yes,
Hey,
yes,
also
yes.
remember the great 70s, 80s movie Flash Gordon, where Flash had to go to what's his name's planet and stick his hand in there. No one saw that movie?
Do you realize how old I am?
I know how old you are. I'm just trying to see if Galvin. You never saw this? This is one of the best movies.
You just said a movie from the 70s or 80s, and I was born in 87.
Flash Gordon was the
I know who
quarterback
Flash, yes.
for the
Flash.
Jets. And then he got in some rocket with some guy.
Yes.
Ming the Merciless brings him
Yes.
in, and he's got to fly in with a Hawkman. Oh, it's so good.
Yes. Do you know who sings that song?
Yes, Queen.
Yes.
Come on, man.
That's my favorite band.
My wife hates that movie, and my kids. I've made my kids love this movie.
But does your wife like Queen?
Oh yeah, she loves
Good.
Queen.
Okay, good. We can keep her around at least one.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the videos we watch all the time, or I should say all the time, is the Queen performance at Live Aid. Come on, one of the greatest performances.
Yes.
Radio Goo Goo, Radio Gaga. Come on, Jason Galvin.
Austin's never heard that song in his life.
I know. He's like, what are you idiots talking about?
Right? He's
So
like,
Austin-
he's gonna go to work.
I know, right? Austin, we're going to show this picture here. Tell everybody what this is. This is what Galvin and all the announcers see in the booth. That thing. This that kind of gives you all the incrementals and stuff. Talk us through.
So
what
first
that thing
off,
is.
this was an awesome run.
This literally, there's not many runs. There's not many runs in a weekend that will stop the tower at a national event. And believe me, if you've never been in the tower, there's a lot of shit going on all the time. This run literally stopped the event last weekend. Go ahead, Austin.
Yeah, I mean, Randy Lynn and Bo, husband and wife, and she goes up there and she's just absolutely nasty. And I told her, I was like, that was nasty. And then the next morning, we don't want to talk about what happened the next morning. She was not as nasty and did not run much past that.
She was short on
she
espresso.
She told me she was messing with the delay box and was adding 10 and taking 10 out, and then finally just said, nope, leave it at there. And she was 001. So this is the announcer screen. This is what Galvin and Joe and Alan and whoever else is in the booth see. Obviously, left and right lane. The blue area is racer information. The red area is kind of where the racer gets to put in what they want. Sponsors, achievements.
Funny comments to the announce crew.
Funny comments to the announcers. And actually, you can see about just below reaction time, which is the RT, and it's all in green. Just below that in the blue, it says Bo's race team manager and used car salesman. That is occupation, and some of those get so bad that we can't read them.
But that's the fun part.
Yeah.
I like the fact that the drivers
Correct.
just do that to bother people.
And it's and all like you'll if you listen intently to the announcers, like especially at a divisional, you'll know when they're reading this because they're going left to right, car name or driver name, and then they're kind of going through it and where they're from, and then you just kind of hear them pause and chuckle and then not say what they
do. Yes.
Because there is some that's like, nope, not doing that.
Dude,
one.
there are some that are bad.
And then like Jason, you and I have Galvin, you and I have talked about people that understand how many characters are in the red box.
Yes.
Because you get them when they just run on forever, and you have no idea what they're saying.
Actually,
so anyway,
Logan, hold on, Logan. If I send you a picture, can you get it up?
Yeah, send it to me.
Okay, go ahead, Austin.
Oh, that's a really weird choice of words there.
It was not my best, and I realized that when I said it. Yes.
Well, I hope Jason gives you his best
at all times.
This is why they don't let me speak on a microphone. So announcer screen, and then obviously they're in the middle, dial in, and then reaction time 60 all the way down to the end, and then above between 1,000 and a mile an hour, it would normally say ET, but after the run is over, it says win with an arrow. So Randy Lynn beat Bo, so it would have said win with an arrow, but it blinks and flashes. So this picture is between the flashes because our phones are so awesome and they take pictures as soon as we want them to. But it's a pretty rapid flash. Bottom of the screen on each racer's side is their qualifying position. So Super Comp, we qualify them off first round based off reaction time. So that's what number 10 qualifier was a 54 light. And then because Bo was red first round, he's number 24. So obviously the red light puts you at the bottom of the sheet. If you have a class like Top Fuel or Funny Car that is performance based, the triple zeros below that will show them in succession of slowest to fastest and how they improved through qualifying.
Correct. It'll also show and across the top here for those of you interested at home, like how sometimes we can quickly draw on things like significant historical moments, like national records, and across the top where it says 890, because obviously Super Comp is an index class, underneath the drivers' names in the categories, like when we run Top Fuel or Funny Car, it will put the national speed and ET records up there. And same thing in class racing, right, Austin? It puts, your A stock automatic. It puts the class index, but also the record up there.
Correct. And then Reg 7 is the division that they are signed up with and collecting points in for division wise.
Right. Yeah, we get a lot of information on these screens, and the margin of victory at the bottom, we see it to the 1,000th, but our system goes to what, Austin? How many?
It goes out 5 places. 5. I think it goes out 7.
I think it's 7. It's a lot. Okay, so I sent you this, Logan, because this is first off, J-Lo's, there you go. J-Lo's never seen this. Austin brought up character limits and how it matters, and I'll never forget. This was from Bowling Green last year. Actually, this is at Indy, I think. It is at Indy because I can tell just by looking at the track out the window. But I had this in Bowling Green too. And Kelly Arden, who ran the computer last weekend in Chicago, runs the computer at a lot of our Division III races, sent it to me when I made my first time run at Indy last year in Super Comp, because she was so impressed with my ability to utilize the character limits on the lines, which, as Austin just pointed out, a lot of our racers seem to struggle with for whatever reason. But
they're not. There's a lot of them
that we couldn't. This is one that like you couldn't announce what your occupation is. Reinhardt seat warmer.
Reinhardt could say that.
It's not as bad as it could be, but I mean,
it's
all right.
It's factual.
Read it, Jason. So people, the people that are going to listen to this, not watch it, read it.
Oh, that's a good point. Well, yeah, So as Austin said, my occupation was Reinhardt seat warmer, and then in the statistical information area, we have won my first 890 series race in the Super Comp car, 7 NASCAR All-American wins, which is their weekly touring series, which I have as a driver. And it says not Jason Logan, also not as cool as J-Lo. spends more time on hair than Joe Costello. You know, those were all like kind of like little things for the for my fellow announcers there. Also spends more time on hair than Joe Costello might be factual. Jason Logan is my roommate, can attest to that.
I have seen it.
Yeah,
I have seen it. But you know, Jason used all the characters because he's a host of a podcast. And he's an entertainer. That's why.
Right.
That was
You know-
last year's divisional, so that was about almost a year before this became a thing.
Yeah. What I mean, I think the picture, in fairness, I think that picture's from Indy, but yeah. Hey,
I mean,
it's
listen-
okay. I will update it before we get to Bowling Green this year because we're going to run Bowling Green in Indy again, and I will update it. You know, before we get there this year, I'll put
You
some
should
sort
always
of,
update it.
I'll put some sort of sweet love letter to Austin. Yeah. By the way, that's like important for our racers out there. Like when you fill out your tech cards for races or whatnot, some of you have stuff on there that is like ancient, and I'm not even talking about our Lucas Oil Series racers. Like there was a top fuel car last weekend, and I will not throw the person totally under the bus.
Do it. Do it.
But they literally had an old sponsor still on their time card, on their tech card on there, and it was like a rival to what their current sponsor was. And it was like,
Whoops.
guys, it's important to properly fill this information out.
Yes,
Like,
because if
I realize that Alan knows that that's not there, and Alan doesn't even have to read that. And honestly, I didn't really have to either because like you're the pro cars, and we all know your sponsors and whatnot. But like the day that Alan, Joe, and I are carpooling to the track together, which we don't do, and get hit by a train or something, and Jason Logan's up there calling round one of Top Fuel, you know, it's going to be bad when he's like, John Smith and the Honda Top Fuel car, and it's going to be like,
or trying to say Bernie's without not knowing that's what Bernie's is. I mean, is that like I no offense, but I mean, if I had to go up there, phonetics, man, seriously, it helps.
Yeah, that's true.
It totally
It's
helps
true.
because like I am Ron Burgundy. I will read, I will say everything that you write down. That's the
Right.
problem.
Right.
So a really interesting thing is like since COVID, we've developed a way to input the electronic tech card into the CompuLink
Right.
without us touching it. Like it goes on a floppy and then goes in the computer. I know I just said the word floppy.
Yes.
They say the word dot matrix and they'll understand the printing system sometimes.
We use a dot matrix printer as a log printer. It continuously prints
Yep.
every single run as it happens. It goes in the machine and we download the information that you submitted to us. So when a racer comes in and they're upset, my name's spelled wrong, it's like,
Right.
we didn't change anything, but we'll fix it
Yeah.
for you. And we'll go ahead and we'll fix it in your tech card. So that way, when it auto populates next time,
Yeah.
when you put your membership number in, it's not wrong again at the next event.
Right.
So
Yep.
the pro
why that stuff
categories kind of go, the pro categories go event to event. Like we download and take with us, and the sportsman stuff we wipe out and take from that event because a lot of the sportsman guys aren't traveling. You know, the guy from Pomona is not going to be in Epping, so he's
Right.
not in the computer, and his database isn't there anymore. And so yeah, again, if there's an error on your tech card, please don't come yell at people in the tower because
Yes.
we copied and pasted what you
Just-
submitted.
Just politely come and ask if we can update it because gone are the
It's-
days of somebody having to sit there, which by the way was a thing, you know.
Oh, I mean, you start putting tech cards in on Thursday, and by Friday night, you're still putting tech cards in. Especially like
Right.
Indy, we had 1,000 cards last year.
Right.
No, thank you. I mean, but also gone are the days of you
No,
taking
thank
this
you.
tech card and you're passing it to the announcer and the front computer operator, whoever's standing, going, "What does this say?
Right.
Right.
I have no idea
Right.
what this says."
Right.
And then you put it in, and they're like, "That's not how I spell my name." And you hand them the tech card and go, "Can you read this?"
Right.
By the way, when Austin and you're getting married, and you said, "Hey, man, are you going to DJ my wedding?" Of course, I'm going to DJ your wedding.
Oh,
But
are
at
you
weddings-
sure about that, Austin?
Yeah,
Have
he
you
loves
con-
it. He will love it. At weddings, when I have to introduce bridal parties, and they get all screwed up, like, "Oh yeah, so and so Brittany she pissed me off, and so I got somebody else to come in." So I have to write their name down, right? And it could be Cindy, but Cindy spells it with 2 E's at the end, and she gets upset when I spell it Cindy. That's not the way you spell my name. I go,
Right.
"Do you care?" I go, "I'm just gonna say Cindy, right?" I go, it's not going on a diploma. It's not going on a trophy. I'm just saying your name. Does it
I'm
matter?
going to blow my nose with this after this is over.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
people get
Wipe
so
the sweat off
upset.
my forehead.
This is
Yeah.
this is actually a thing my wife goes through, right? Because her name is Kristen. But
Right.
it's Krysty, and I can't tell you how many times that we go places. Right, Starbucks is a great example. Like you put
Yeah.
your order and whatever, blah, blah, blah. What's your name? Kristen. How do you spell it? And I literally look at him like, does it matter?
It doesn't matter. You're just gonna say her name wrong anyways.
What if the next person is
Kirsten.
Kristen too?
Yeah, just say Kristen.
Yeah.
Like, no big deal. Who cares how you spell it?
my fiance's name is Ambria.
Oh,
So-
forget it. That was fun.
That's a very
Uh,
common name in nowhere.
Yes, very much so. So when we go places and they're like, "What's your name?" Ambria, Amber? No, Bria? No. You know, she does not get to share the joy that we get to when we walk into a gas station and find our name on a keychain.
Right.
Yeah.
And I told her,
Yes.
like, you just don't understand what joy this is at all.
A
right.
keychain, a little license plate that you put on the back
License
of your
plate.
bicycle.
The
Right.
keychain
Yeah.
that flashes your name.
Yes.
She
Yeah.
doesn't get it.
She does not. That's very unfortunate.
By the
Very
way, I
unfortunate.
remember when I was a little kid and I could recognize my name when I wrote it, and we were like at some like south of the border or someplace like that would have a million different. And I found my mom, they got my name. She had to. I was screaming, crying because my mom didn't want to buy the $2.50 license. Like, you have to buy it. It's not my name on it. It's great stuff.
But this is
That
mine.
sounds
It has
like
my
Jason
name on it.
Logan.
Yeah.
That sounds like Jason Logan. Hey, tell me about this beef jerky hobby you have, because you brought some of that to the track last weekend,
Which I did not get any
which
of.
is a you problem, Jason.
So-
That's a you problem, and I was a fan.
So for my birthday last year, my mom and Ambria bought me a dehydrator. I have to say, I want a dehydrator. I want a dehydrator, but just I don't like to buy things because I like to buy things, but not stuff that's kind of like that. So they bought me a dehydrator for my birthday, and I've been tinkering around with it since July. I have two that I make all the time: the spicy garlic and a chipotle. And then I don't know how you guys will feel about this one that I made this week, but I made a spicy pickle ranch,
Ooh, I bet that's gonna be good.
and it was really good.
I'm intrigued.
I handed a few. I was a very small batch of it, just as a test batch, and so 3 people I gave it to. One of them said, "You can come dispose of that at my house." The other 2 were fighting over like the 3 pieces that there were, and I had a little bit of it too, and I just really wish I made more. So I'm going to make more before leaving for Epping, and I will vacuum seal some for you guys. That way, I don't eat it all before.
The hot garlic
uh,
is really, really good. So
the
I
one I
have
had
no
this
idea how
weekend-
that works. Like
The one I have
like
this
you-
week is way more angry than last week.
and that's fine. I don't mind angry. We had that conversation. I thought that it was good, but
I don't understand how. The pieces of meat are a little bit smaller this week, so maybe it's just more concentrated.
What kind
What
of
do
meat
you-
do you
No
use?
idea.
yeah. First off, what kind of meat do you use?
London broil.
Okay.
And what
Yeah,
type of spice are you using on the hot garlic?
It is cayenne and tapatio.
But it is the cayenne. Are you grinding the cayenne, or are you just using like a powder?
No, it's just a powder.
No,
I'm not to the point where I'm like dehydrating the pepper to grind it and then use it
Right.
again in
Right. Well, I
You
don't,
mean
I don't know. I'm
You're not
just-
going. You're not being organic and going farm to table on all this. Austin. Come on. Let's make it a.
This
let's
guy's
make it a
home.
whole
This
thing.
guy's home. This guy's home for like 16 hours in between.
I
This
know.
doesn't have time to do that.
I'm not home now.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. He's home at the racetrack. He decided he was going to start running. So
Yeah. So
Um,
yeah, I'm not home now. I made jerky this week. We got home Monday. I had a flight out. Chicago and St. Louis are the only 2 flights I can fly home Sunday night. Which, by the way, that was a complete disaster. And I was checking my bag at 10:10, and my flight took off at 10:30.
Ooh, that's close. That's
did your
close.
bag make it? Is the better?
My
part.
bag made it the next morning after it went to Tampa.
Got it.
Which I was like, hey, they're like, they're like, you're not going to make it. I said, no, I'll make it. And they're like, are you okay with separating from your bag? And I said, that's fine. I don't care if it gets there by Tuesday.
Right.
And and the bad part of it was I have these big Anvil cases that, so the computer actually comes in and out with us at tracks that we can trade it out at, depending on the scoreboards. we can use our own computer. And as I was putting this Anvil case down to load the computer up, I smacked it on my big toenail. Not my big toe, like I grazed my toenail. So like, no idea what I've done to my foot, but now I'm running through the airport. Can't breathe, foot's on fire, have to pee. Like, I'm holding my phone and I'm shaking so bad that she had to take my phone from me to scan it. And they were like 6 people away from getting on the plane. Like, that's how many were left in the jet bridge. So very, very close to not making my flight Sunday night. Anyway,
Yeah,
so like,
be a drag racer, they said. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be awesome.
yeah. So Monday, like HEB, first thing, I'm buying the stuff to make jerky. So we had jerky. Yeah, what's today? Thursday? I don't know. I had it before I left, and I've already eaten half of it. That's why I'm like, I have to vacuum seal it and hide it, so I don't eat it before you guys get.
How long does that take to make? Like,
it's 24 hours to marinate, and I'm probably gonna try and shorten that up and see how it does. And then 6 hours in the dehydrator, as long as everything's consistent and about a little less than a 1/4 inch thick when you put it on, and it comes out, about a quarter of the size and weight it was before. And it's 6 hours in the dehydrator. A little 6-rack dehydrator. It's not terrible.
It's not as bad as I thought. I don't know. I just think of
Mm.
like making jerky, and I think this is some like weeks long process.
Yeah, kind of like making your home brew,
Right.
brewing beer and stuff.
Yeah, so I've tried some barbecue. I've tried some pineapple teriyaki. Just nothing else has been as good as the 2 that I have. But this pickle's probably going to be around to stay.
Ooh, yes, I'm excited.
I like
I
it.
just need to figure out where I can get pickle. I think I'm going to buy those little like pickles at the gas station and just use that juice in it instead of,
Well,
because
that's
like I'm
smart.
out of pickle juice now, out of my jar of pickles,
Jar of pickles. Yeah, that's smart.
and I don't need.
Hold on. Pickle juice.
Probably
Say
should buy.
Costco,
Sale.
probably. I'm sure Costco's got a big
Amazon.
bag.
Amazon says you can get a gallon jug for $12.99.
Perfect.
Just throwing it out there.
Bonus.
Just throwing it out there.
I love it.
Or Austin, or the Louisiana Pantry will ship to you for free with delivery by June 2nd. 1 pallet with 192 gallons of best made dill pickle juice for only the small fee of $2,475.
Hey, but you'll have enough pickle juice for a while.
But you'll have enough pickle juice for 25 years.
Hey,
the problem
and
is before I
Ambria.
leave for Epping.
Right?
Ambria would be like, Austin, don't get this pickle juice out of our bathroom in this closet underneath the bed.
Austin, what is
Yeah,
that
so-
pallet in our garage? Oh, it's pickle juice.
She's texting me like the slant eye or like wide eye emojis about like, because I'm talking about her, probably about the whole name thing.
Oh, I thought we were talking about pickle juice. Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking pickle juice now.
She might have
Austin-
said it a while ago.
I love it, Austin, dude. We don't want to keep you too much longer. We're gonna end this show anyways. But Austin,
Yeah.
it's
Go
been a
back to
treat.
work, Austin.
Yeah.
What are you doing right now? You're at tell us about the track you're at and what you're doing, real quick.
So my dad is taking over a track in Lufkin, Texas, called Pine Valley Raceway, and I'm up here mowing and working on equipment.
Attaboy. See?
Not open this weekend, but just doing things that need to get done. Got a paint starting line.
multi-talented.
So I mean,
Multi-talented.
I ran a facility for 5 years, so we don't
Austin,
even talk about that stuff.
is your dad like giving you money underneath the table, like, come here, son, or are you just having to do this like I do with my kids when they show up at my house? Empty the dishwasher, do this, go up there and run some laundry. Or is he actually, giving you $5 an acre to mow the grass?
I mean, yeah, sure, I guess.
All right.
It's paid for. I get to do something during the week and not just sit at home and do nothing, make jerky or whatever.
I got you. All right. As long as your
I like
dad's
it.
taking care of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good time.
Yeah, we're not about free child labor on this show. So
And we will not stand for it
No.
in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I don't know. Somebody little kid probably made this microphone in China, but guess what? I don't know about it yet.
look. Some little kid put lights in mine.
Ooh, that's nifty.
I don't have a
So-
microphone. It's just my headphones.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sounds good. Sounds
They
good.
do.
Well, Austin,
When
we look forward
Jason,
to,
Thanks,
when
man.
Galvin, yeah, no problem, guys.
we look forward to seeing you in Epping, my man, and bring some of that
Epping.
jerky.
Lot
Jay-
to Dude,
Jason-
pickle jerky and lobster. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, Jason has not seen this tower yet, Austin. So
I've never been to Epping.
I've tried to warn him about this tower, and I was like, dude, imagine a phone booth and Alan Reinhart taking up like 90% of it.
It is cramped.
It's
a good
very
track, though.
tight.
I'm looking
Yeah.
forward
Good
to it.
track.
Looking forward to it.
The computer operator we have up there last year when we got there, they're like, "Oh, this guy's only been doing this since April," and I'm like, "Oh boy!" And didn't miss a beat, perfect all weekend. Which
That's what I heard.
it's being in that position to run the race from the front computer is a very mentally tasking position. You have to be focused. I mean, you're focused from the first car to the last car, and you cannot miss a beat.
Yes.
A lot of people don't realize this, but car numbers, we don't know you by your name as a racer. The timing system doesn't know who you are without your car number. And like one step further, the tech process doesn't know who you are without your membership number. So car number and dial-ins is all they know. And like you're just numbers all day long and you're putting them in, you're looking through binoculars. Epping's really nice though because you were literally sitting over the water box. Like
Oh, that's nice.
it's really hard to mess those up because of how close I mean, it is
Right.
probably the closest we are at all. Sonoma's pretty close, but not this close.
Right. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, computer operator is, in my humble opinion, the most underrated job as far as appreciation in our sport. Because if that person messes up, it could be very bad, as we've alluded to with Austin and timing mistakes and whatnot. I mean, if you put numbers in differently, that creates all sorts of drama and controversy and, dial-ins and stuff like that. And it's hard. And it's a lot. Like Austin, it's a thankless job. It's a lot of sitting here and staring at a computer, looking at cars, staring at a computer for like 12 straight out. We don't have 4 of them at every race. Like it's usually one person the whole day. So,
It's one person, and like normally you kind of plan your potty breaks and whatever else you need to do around track prep. Like where
Yeah.
the track prep's going to be, and that's like okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom at the end of this class. Or I mean, if it's that bad, I can jump in and work.
yeah, there's multiple people who are qualified, but it's not like we make a habit of that. So
right.
And
right.
Austin,
'Cause
I
at any point I can have to go down track to fix something.
yeah, exactly.
Austin, I definitely want to thank you as well for notifying me when food is in the tower and asking me what I want to eat. Austin's good with that because
Have you seen Jason Logan? Dude needs to eat.
I need to eat some
Needs
food.
to eat. Come on, dude needs to eat.
Well, I mean, it's just
Peter
it's
brother.
so Safari feeds the tower. Haley runs around. Last year was Ashton. This year is Haley. They run around. She texts me how many, and I'm like sitting there, tower going like, "There's how many announcers do we have?" And then like I get like 10 or 12 lunches, and then like half the people don't even eat them. So, but you guys
Also
are
a
normally all
thankless
really
job, by the
busy.
way.
Right. She's running around all day making sure people have radios, water, ice. She's first one
totally
there, last
thankless
one to
job.
leave. But you guys don't know when food gets there because, well, Jason, you're outside on stage, and
Right.
Alvin, you're in the water box, and it normally shows up right when we all have to go out for a process.
Every time. Every time.
Every time.
What time is lunch going to be here? I don't know what time to run fuel cars. 8 p.m. That's about the time lunch will be here.
Yep.
Huh? Yeah, no, it's
That's not wrong. That is not wrong at all.
But it's not just us. It's everybody.
Everybody.
Oh yeah, no.
It's
yeah.
everybody. They're like,
And I don't
"Here's
think
your
it's
food."
I don't think it's anybody's fault. It's just how it for whatever reason always works out
It's
that way.
just the way it
Always
works out.
that way.
Oh, I caught
It's
Haley
very well
on
done.
Saturday when she had Chick-fil-A. I go, yo, girl, can I get up on one of them boxes of Chick-fil-A? And she goes, oh, yeah, I got you. Whatever.
She was-
Here you go.
And she immediately was like, HR.
Yeah. It's like, hey, girl. Hey,
Yeah.
you with the bag of food.
Yeah, HR.
Help a brother out.
All right, we're way over. Hi, Selena. But
Selena's here
bye,
finally.
Austin.
Thank
Selena
you.
shows up at the end of an hour and 8-minute show. Austin, thank you. We'll see you in Epping.
Austin,
See
you
you
the
guys.
man. See you
Be
in Epping,
safe.
brother.
All righty.
That's our guy, Austin. He's good.
Love that guy.
Yeah, no, he's always good for a good story up in the tower too.
Oh, yeah.
During a rain delay or anything like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
He's always fun. So
He is.
Selena's here. Jeff Shumway said, "Hey, listen, I can go find some good jerky from one of the starters up
Yeah,
there."
dude, come on. Fuzz knows where to get the good stuff.
Of course.
Let's be honest.
Listen, they all-
honest.
you never go wrong with anybody on Safety Safari. They'll take care of you in any
No.
way,
That's true.
shape,
That's
or
true.
form.
The best people that work for this company work on the Safety Safari. So
That's it.
Hey, when do you get into Boston? Boston.
I get in. Actually, I'm on. Joe Costello and I are on the same flight. We
Oh,
get in at
that's
like
right.
12:15 on
Oh,
Thursday.
that was wicked smart that you two got on the same
Wicked
flight.
smart, huh? I think.
You're gonna show up hammered together.
Yeah, I think we're gonna not stay in the city. I think we're gonna go to Maine and look at some stuff. Maybe have
Maynard.
some lobster up there. Go to a clam shack or something. I don't know. But have fun. Have fun traversing the city streets. I'll tell you one thing: be careful because there are monstrous potholes there. One time, I was literally 5 minutes outside of the car rental lot, hit a pothole. My tire was not. My tire went flat, but I had dented the wheel.
Wow.
And they tried to charge me for that. I'm like, listen, you, I can't help that. I had to change the tire, go back to the rental car lot, and I'm like, I need a new car because this was messed up. Sure, yeah. Let's make sure you have the. I go, I don't care. I'm not paying for that. I'm not 5 minutes out in this thing. So
I'm not getting a car until I come up to the track. So my wife and I come in on Tuesday. It's for her birthday, and we're public transpoing it around town because
that's the way to do it.
Their public transpo system is actually pretty good there. So
yep,
we're gonna public transpo. We're gonna catch a Sox game. We're gonna go check out. We're gonna eat a lot of lobster, I'm sure, and
go to the North End. The North End for
every. Told me the North End. I want to go to the JFK Museum just because I'm in presidential museums, and they got some cool stuff there. And yeah.
Oh, you know what? What you should do, and it's so totally cheesy. Go on a Ducky Bob tour.
I think that my wife wants to do that. So
yeah, you'll have fun, and they'll give you a little duck whistle.
We're gonna go to the Cheers bar. Like, I talked to Reinhardt yesterday, and he was like, "Go to the Cheers bar," and I was like, "I know." Like, and even he was like, "You just kind of got like." I went and did have lunch just because like it's one of those things in life you got to do, and I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna go." My wife found the first bar in America, or the oldest remaining.
Yep.
Bar, I don't know. So we're going to that. Yeah, we got the whole thing.
So when you do the Freedom Trail.
Right.
The Cheers bar is a walk off that Freedom Trail. I'm just giving you a heads up. You'll get halfway on it and you'll be like, oh, the Cheers bar is like only a couple. It's a minute.
That's okay. I don't mind walking.
Yeah, just be prepared for the long walk, but it's a beautiful walk.
Bleacher Bar is on my list, Fuzz. Believe me, it's on my list. On my list.
Yeah,
to me, it's just like going to and God, I'm forgetting it. Across from Wrigley though. Right
Wrigleyville,
Wrigley.
Cubby Bear.
Yeah, yes.
Cubby Bear's
every game
in right field. Cubby Bear's the best. Hey, you want to hear me name drop? You
did not do enough Harry Carey this weekend. I'm mad at you.
Listen, I was waiting for Eames to throw it to me, but he didn't do that.
I'm mad at you.
When Mark Cuban was on Dancing with the Stars, my whole bus crew was at Wrigley Field when Mark Cuban was thinking about buying the Cubs. And we got absolutely annihilated with Mark Cuban at Cubby Bear after the Cubs game. It was the best. Nicest guy ever. He was so cool.
That's awesome. All right. We'll see you in Epping. I got to go.
Yes, sir. Jason Galvin, thank you so much. We are going to have a fantastic time in Epping, and it's going to be a good time. And we're going to, because Galvin's traveling, we'll figure out a time when we can do a little something.
Yeah, we'll do something next week.
Yeah, we'll make things happen. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming on and watching Life's a Drag. We'll see you next time.